What is going on, Sky Squad? We are back in the building, baby, and we got to talk some Atlanta news, and we got some Married to Medicine tea. So don't go nowhere, okay? Now, first things first, let's get into the Atlanta of it all, okay? So, as we've seen from the trailer, as we've heard recently from Drew, and now, as we also see via a new TV spot, Sanya or Sanya, I guess I should say. I'm still thinking about Tanya. Okay. Anyway, Sanya and Drew are getting into it yet again in this new teaser spot right here that we have going around on the web. Now, in the teaser, you can basically see it's the scene is set. It is Sonya, Sheree, and Drew and Kenya. It could be an all cast event for all we know because that's all we can really see in the spot. And right now, that's really all that's important. Okay. So right here, you can see Sonya, and she's yelling at Drew, saying, "You're fake, bro. You're fake." And then you see Drew yelling, "If you want to go, let's go." But but the T is Kenya in the background. It's Kenya in the background with the hair toss for me. Okay. It's almost like either she's proven a point or she's just getting ready for that beauty shot right there. But let me ask you guys a question. With it being said that, Sonya and Drew, hit it off in the beginning, or at least so it seems, and then something goes awry with their relationship. Do you guys feel like it's going to be more or less Drew's part that plays the bigger part in the breakdown of their friendship, or do you think it's going to be more or of Sonya's part? Because sometimes when you're new to the group and you first meet somebody, everything seems to go well until you start gelling with other people in the group, and then things start to not go so well with the original person. We've seen this happen before. So let us know in the comment section what you guys think about this. We also, if you guys, I tried to find a lot more screenshots of it based on what I saw last night from watching Candy in the game. Only place I could find anything was on the Bravo Shade Room. If you guys check them out on Instagram, they have it in their IG stories. But you can see confessional looks for Kenya Moore. We can see a new confessional look for Sheree Whitfield. We can also see a new confessional look for Candy Burris. Everybody looks pretty good. I don't see any really out there wild fashions like I'm kind of hoping for. I guess after seeing, young famous and African, I'm expecting everybody to wow me. And I'm not really wowed yet. Maybe Marlo will bring us something because she is the fashion maven of the show. So we'll see what they bring. But right now, they all look pretty good. All right. So let's head on over to the Married to Medicine news of it all. So our friends over at Urban Bell Mag, they happened to catch an interview that Gary with the T did with Dr. Eugene from Married to Medicine. Now, this is interesting because what we're getting here is some tea based on this season and some tea that I don't know if anybody recalled or knew about from before season one. Okay. So I will place the link to the article in Urban Bell Mag down in the description down below. And I will also place the link for this podcast that Gary did with Dr. Eugene in the description as well. So you'll have both. Okay. Now, with regards to Married to Medicine this season, he told Gary, he says, "Gary, a little nugget for next season. This is one of the first seasons coming up that the men get a little loud with each other. I ain't going to say what man, but there was a little bit of the women rubbed off on us just a little tiny bit, but we resolved it like men, and it'll be very entertaining." So I'm trying to figure out who it is, Eugene. Who is it? I almost want to feel like it's him and somebody else. in my mind, I almost want to say it's him and somebody else based on the wording of it. He says, I ain't going to say what man, because if it was two other men, he would have said, I'm not going to say what two men. He says, I'm not going to say what man. But there was a little bit of the women rubbed off on us just a tiny little bit, but we resolved it like men, and it'll be very entertaining. So then when he says we resolved it like men and it'll be very entertaining, makes me think, Dr. Jean, was it you? Did you get about it this season? And who was it with? Okay. Who was it with? Now, let's get to some more interesting tea that I I didn't really know about. And if you guys knew about it or recalled it, please chime down in the chatterization. Also, let me know who you guys think that might have got into a little altercation on the Married to Medicine this season. Which men was it? Okay. But let's get into this tea that occurred before season one, okay? Because what happens is during this conversation, you have literally Dr. Eugene is opening up about what's going, like how he actually got onto the show. And he starts off by saying, one of the reasons that the show has been successful is because they all kind of knew each other, at least that principal group, which is why I have this photo here. He says, when I came out of residency with my specialty training and moved back to Atlanta, I had already had a job lined up. It wasn't going to start for another month, but I knew Dr. Damon because he was about 5 years ahead of me in school. So he was like, so I reached out to him. He was the medical director at the hospital near Atlanta. I was like, hey, I got this job. It's starting up, but can I just do a couple of shifts at your place until my main gig kicks in? He was like, sure. So then Eugene says, so that's how we met Dr. Heavenly and Dr. Damon. Because as you guys know or recall, Dr. Heavenly was actually supposed to be in season one. All right. So anyway, he then says, now this is where the tea came in because I did not know this. He says that he and Toya met Dr. Jackie and Dr. Simone because he was like, we were getting ready to have kids. My wife originally went to Dr. Jackie, but she actually fired Dr. Jackie because they didn't get along patient and doctor wise. And we ended up going to another OBGYN. And that's how we met Dr. Simone, Dr. Jackie, because they were in practice together at the time. And then he goes into, and Mariah, Gary's interjected, the creator. I love how Gary was like, let's keep it 100. And basically Eugene says he had ended up hiring Dr. Aiden. So that's how they all met. And then Toya ran into Mariah at a party. And they had, Mariah had asked them several times to do the show before it actually became a thing. And then they actually decided to go along and do it, which is funny because in that first episode, we do get that altercation between Mariah and Toya that will go down in history as one of the wildest scenes I have ever seen. But to take it back to the Toya working with Dr. Jackie and firing her, this does not surprise me based on how we see the two of them interact on the show. And now I feel like this bit of information really informs a lot of the discord that we tend to see between Dr. Jackie and between Toya. It always seems like there's a little bit of contention there. So I wonder if it has to do with their history together or if it's just that because of their history, they just don't get along. You know what I'm saying? Like personality wise, it's always been something there that maybe just the two of them just will never really vibe like that. So let me know your thoughts down in the comment section down below. Did you know that tea about about Toya firing Dr. Jackie back in the day? I did not know that. And is that what you do? Do you fire OBGYN? Is that how that works? I don't know. Or do you just go to another one? Anyway, I don't know. I'm gonna let you guys figure that out for yourselves as you read the article and listen to the interview. I think it's going to be a very good season. I'm hopeful that we get a new promo shot other than this one. Listen, this was a dynamic photo shot right here. All the women look great. And I just hope that, because we know that Quad's going to be back into the mix. There's a new friend in the mix as well. Carrie Wells is back in the mix. I'm just hoping that, since I'm hearing that Quad is full time, I'm hoping they don't just Photoshop her in on the end. I really don't like when they do that. Just do a whole new photo shoot and give us something brand new. Please don't be cheap about this. Okay. So anyway, that is the news that we got for y'all this morning, and we'll be back later on around 11:30 or so with our Candy and the Gang review. So stick around for that. Otherwise, I will catch you guys in the next video.